relatives were from that city. The others, I mean, we might be distantly related, but we're not close relatives. So Harry Altman and Son, what was that, store?
Yes.
The clothing?
Bar
It
restaurant supply.
started out as a grocery store, and then when Prohibition came in, they went into malt and hops. They were making beer at home.
Did you know that?
Yep.
They were making beer at home?
Okay.
He started out with a push cart, and
I
we
knew
have
that.
pictures of the push cart.
Yeah.
I have it in my office.
And,
What, the
and then it
push
was
cart?
Libby Glass,
Picture.
right?
Mhm.
And then it was Libby Glass, right?
When summer
No, that's one of the companies he
summer
started working
came
for.
around,
Yeah.
Right. They started selling the
he
Libby
asked
Glass.
my husband to join
On
In the
Libby
push
cart.
cart.
In the push cart.
Right.
I see.
He really wanted to see if he and my brother would get along.
Oh, okay. And did they?
Oh boy, did they.
Yeah?
They became brothers.
Uh-huh. Oh, so they became partners in the business?
And then my dad changed the name Harry Altman and Sons.
Uh-huh.
It was Harry Altman and Son before that, right?
And then it was Harry Altman.
Harry Altman.
Carl did the business, and Allan was the schmoozer, the salesman.
One was an inside guy business, and one was the outside guy.
Because I'm just listening. Oh,
Wow.
when I have something to say outside.
All right, so he worked for his father at scrap metal yard, it sounds like.
It was a junkyard, to be
And
honest.
taught.
Yeah.
And
First,
taught.
and he was a teacher, but then he left teaching to go into business with your father.
Yes.
Gotcha, okay.
The teaching doesn't pay. It's the truth. That's one of the reasons he told me he left.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm listening to you.
My brother would refuse to go to college, and my father, who was an immigrant, loved education.
Uh-huh.
And he was just thrilled with Allan because he was a graduate from Wayne University in teaching, summa cum laude.
Did he ever go back to teaching?
No.
Well, he
Well,
always
he
taught.
did.
He always taught.
Uh-huh.
Taught
He
computers.
used his
Yeah.
grandchildren.
But he even at Mirror, he taught. He was teaching computer classes to.
That's right.
He taught people to start businesses at
Yeah.
SCORE.
Yeah, he was at SCORE. He
What's that?
Service Corps of Retired Executives.
So
It's an SBA
It was a
affiliate.
federal program.
Yeah, federal program, and he taught business owners to write business plans and start businesses.
And help people that needed to start a business.
So
Yeah, and he taught me. He was my coach.
He also brought in the Russian Jews
he was
and taught them how to live in our country.
he was very involved in it was Americans for Soviet Jewry.
Now the Detroit Soviet Jewry.
I'm sorry, Detroit Soviet Jewry.
He was the president of that. He was the president of the men's club.
The president of the synagogue.
He was president of two synagogues,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah,
Beth there and Ann.
and Bethlehem.
And
He was in that
Bethlehem.
weird club thing too.
Oh,
Masons?
yeah.
Masons.
He was a Mason.
Now, he told Jason a lot about the Masons.
I could
That's
never
what I
get
asked
anything
him when
about
he
it.
told
when I said
him
goodbye to
the
him.
secret handshake. He
Yeah.
told him the secret word.
What's the secret handshake?
You know, I know
recording?
the Masons, they come to these funerals sometimes, they make a little procession. I really never thought twice about it until I read that, what was that,
That movie.
yeah, the
Illuminati.
yeah,
He
but
never got too involved.
the novels,
So, the
Dan Brown.
Yeah,
Da Vinci.
Yeah,
The
Da
Vinci
Vinci
Code.
Code.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
Angels
God,
and
these
Demons.
guys! Yeah, these guys are really something. Yeah, I just thought they wore this funny smock or something.
We're doing
Yeah.
an app.
When I lived in Richmond and I went to Hollywood Cemetery,
Oh my God.
every grave was Freemason.
What's
Did
that?
you know, Dad, did you know?
I used to live in Richmond, Virginia, and there's
Mason?
Hollywood Cemetery.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't-
Every grave in that whole cemetery is a Mason grave.
Did you hear that, Michael?
Every one of them.
We're doing an app
What?
what's
Yeah, I
that?
heard that.
to get
Mom.
younger They wanted attract a younger crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
But you have to be invited, so how does it end?
Yeah.
I wrote down not the no, I wrote down the safe word, but I can't remember it. What was it?
Right,
Like they have a safe word. If someone's in trouble, you go up to a Freemason.
but you
Learning a
forgot it.
couple things.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Somewhere.
Well, don't get in trouble.
Okay.
Do you remember it?
No.
I don't remember what he told you the word was, and you had to pull it out of him. He did not want to give you the word. And
It's
then
probably
he did.
not the real one.
And that's
I
when
gave you some fake ones.
You might have.
Hospice people? No.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah, I was in the nursing
I'm
home.
jealous
It
'cause
was
I
your
asked him for
hospice.
years about it.
It was
He
my.
never told me
It's
about
what
You
he
You didn't
said.
give him morphine.
I'll tell you anything. What do you want to know? And I
Was it
said, tell me about
Freemasons, or
Freemasons.
was it a social group too, or what?
He was really interested.
I see.
Wanted to know.
He just was a member.
His friends became,
Uh-huh.
and so he did too.
I see,
But I don't remember him going to maybe 2 or 3 meetings.
I see.
Well, he told me he told me that he joined for networking purposes for his store.
Yeah.
It gave him
Different times.
Credibility.
credibility and partnerships with people
It's a
in the organization.
throwback to a different era where that would be networking.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
are
we
there?
did not-
We didn't have Facebook.
Are there?
You would have done it.
I have never done Facebook.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
He
was
the
on
oldest
it.
person on Facebook.
He was on it all the
In
time.
'91, he was on Facebook, and the only reason I'm on it,
Oh,
he actually
he
challenged.
spanked us.
He challenged me to be on it.
Oh, he was active on it too.
Yeah.
Remember?
My kids encourage me
Sometimes
not
too
to.
late.
Yep, we have him.
Yeah. I don't think we don't want to. Do we want to say it?
Are there any special friends who should be
I was like,
mentioned?
where'd you
You
get
mentioned
Canada?
about friends. Are there any friends who should be singled out, or is it too hard to do that?
There's nobody alive.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
How
outlived
did
them
you
all.
used to spend time with those friends?
His
Travel.
best friend was his family.
Travel. You traveled a
No,
lot.
she just said his best friend was his family.
Yeah.
Where do you think I get it?
They did a lot of traveling
Uh-huh.
all over the world.
They used to have dinner clubs with a certain group.
But they're all gone.
And I think his social life was also the synagogue.
Very much so.
Yeah.
That was Beth Achim you're talking about?
Beth Aaron.
Beth Aaron, uh-huh.
Beth Aaron, Beth Fahim, yes.
But he was president of, was it Beth Aaron that he
They
was
said both.
president?
Yeah,
Both.
sounded
Both?
like, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize both.
I think so.
He was
I
man
know
of
they
he was
merged.
man of the year,
So,
and
so
I made him a talus. I wore
when
him
did
one.
when did your dad stop work? When did the officially the business? When did they close the business at some point?
They sold it.
Yeah.
Dad was gone, and
Uh-huh.
Carl and Allan were at the retirement age.
I see.
And
I
they
remember
sold
the
it.
business when I was.
And then people went broke 6 months later.
I see.
Guess they couldn't handle
Oh.
that.
I
They
see.
didn't go
I
there.
see.
And then-
So why don't you guys, children, tell me about growing up with your dad a little bit. What are some
That's where
Memories,
Micah
yeah.
comes in.
well, Mike was a grandchild.
Start with
Yeah,
that.
start-
With-
He,
What was it like to be in
he-
Alan's house?
he was more than a dad. He was a buddy.
Uh,
He really was a buddy. He played with you. He took me to sporting events. Yeah, he was a gadget freak.
Yeah, we're,
He was the warm fuzzy.
He was a warm fuzzy with a sense of humor that was the corniest sense of humor you'd ever want to meet.
Oh,
and the
his
dirtiest
jokes.
sense.
And dirty.
Dirtiest
And
jokes.
I was
We're
we
so
were raised on off-colored jokes.
You know,
he told
my
me dirty
sister.
jokes when I was like 9.
My sister tells a story that
You were
you know the first dirty joke she ever heard, he taught her, and she didn't know what it meant till like 4 years after. But she went around telling it all the time.
Yeah, I think he did
It's
say a
it's
thing
you know when you know it's you know what did Frosty the Snowman do when he heard the snowblower coming? You know,
No,
kinda
that was my joke.
like, no, well that you may have started it, but that was told to Renee by Papa.
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess, is it something with the carrot?
Dropped his pants.
He told me, God, what did the elephant say to the naked man? When I was like 9, how do you drink with that? That was the joke. I'll never forget it. I don't know if you can say that tomorrow or not, but
I've got the dirty jokes handled in my.
Yeah.
I've got that covered.
I will
without
say-
telling any.
I will say one thing for my dad. He
Without
believed in like education, just like my mom's dad did, and it wasn't a question if we go to college. We were in college. We
Right.
would have a profession. He taught us very early to watch every penny we spend. I wouldn't say he was tight, but he knew where everything was, and he should have years ago. And growing up with him, he was very, very involved in a lot of organizations and taught us to give to the community a lot, and at some time, some of those organizations were his life.
Yeah, there's a lot of times he wasn't there because he was so involved. He had a meeting every night.
Was he with you in the morning or
But he was there when you,
breakfast?
he was
would,
there.
yes,
He'd have dinner with us.
every night. We'd have dinner as a family.
Practically the only thing that we really fought serious about
Yeah.
his involvement. Once he got involved, nothing else went.
It wasn't half in, it was always full in if he got involved.
What were some of those organizations?
Well, the president of, the men's.
The Committee for
Club.
Soviet Jews, the synagogue, SCORE,
The synagogue was the biggest one. He really was involved. I mean, he helped build them. He helped
The
keep
men's
them
club.
going.
regional,
Was that
and national.
that's
And he was,
Oh, that's right, he was president of the regional. He was president of the regional men's
Yeah.
club
the
too.
Great Lakes. No, it's not. It's the.
It was Great Lakes Regional Men's Club.
Is it called Great Lakes Region? Yeah.
Yes, he was, I remember
She
that.
got the
Go ahead,
sales
Terry.
stuff. You got the education.
What do you
He's
wanna
involved
say?
in all the organizations.
was very proud of his work with SCORE.
Very.
Really.
Yeah, he actually won an award. I still have it somewhere, but I don't recall
That
what
was
it
after he retired, he got
Yeah.
to SCORE.
Yeah.
He was always active.
In fact, I met someone at my reunion
Was it- he
recently
was-
that came up and told me how he helped her start her business.
Wasn't he chairman of SCORE?
He was.
He
Yeah.
was the chairman, yeah.
Yeah. He was the life of the party. He would walk into a meeting, not know a soul, meet everybody, and walk out with 5 new friends.
Oh,
Can
he
I say something about that?
Sure.
Because what I learned from him, as a teenager, I was terribly embarrassed by my dad. He would talk,
Oh, I
he
know what
would
that's
talk
like.
to everybody, anywhere, crack jokes. I would roll my eyes and want to hide. But today, guess what?
You terribly embarrassed me. No.
My dad used to
I
just
can
spit
talk
it
to
out in front of my
anybody,
friends.
anytime, anywhere,
You're
and
learning
laugh
it now,
at the
too.
stupidest jokes. And I'm the only one in the room that gets them.
Let's not eulogize me. I'm still here.
Oh, yours would be so good.
He was kind. He was just a warm, fuzzy guy. He really was. The grandkids said something about, how we always squeezed the life out of them when he hugged them.
You always like
Yeah.
a little too hard.
Yeah.
He put me in jail too.
Fair hug.
And I
He
believe it's
he
on
put me
the
like he would sit cross-legged and put me in between his legs, and I had to know the magic word to get out.
You have to.
Tickle
Yeah.
him too.
Yeah.
He used to tickle you
Yeah,
guys.
he tickled us till we cried.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally till we
Good as
cried.
his word. And he lived by that.
What was that, Granny? What did
What did she just say?
A man is only as good as
Good
his
as
word.
his word.
Oh.
He was also a poet too, wasn't he?
You have to
And he
sign
didn't
it.
even know
Oh
it.
yeah, his poems he wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about his
He
poems.
wrote her
Yeah,
a poem.
yeah.
He wrote her a poem every year that they were married.
Every year that they were married, he wrote
On
a poem.
on their anniversary.
He didn't write her.
I had 70 years of
Shelley?
poems.
Yeah?
I'm gonna have to mute this for a minute because I've got somebody coming over, and I don't want you to have the dogs barking. I'm gonna mute it. I'll be here, but I'll
Okay.
put it on.
Okay.
Oh, her dog's in the park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
How many does she have now?
3.
Three.
Great.
Oh.
His dog is dead.
Show
My
us
dog is
Tilly.
She did when she first got on.
You can see her.
Alex, you want to share something?
Sure. It's weird because I had a lot of friends calling me that hadn't even met Papa, but he was just like so warm and just so funny that like I would always share stories about stuff that he did. And I don't know, he touched every single
Remember a
person that
great
he met.
story, something a little more, sometimes he's giving great adjectives, sometimes these specific stories like really work well.
I mean,
Remember something.
He wants a specific story.
You got, just
Isn't
close
it
your
hard to
eyes
think of it
and
now?
some of your great memories, a great day, a great moment.
they're all like funny and inappropriate.
Oh, okay.
Not like
Say it anyway.
like bad, but
Let's
like
try one.
okay. I have
Just
to
what were you
think.
doing? Just think, go back like whatever. Whatever.